Have you noticed that the smartphones, devices, or cars you want is either out of stock or suddenly costs a fortune? It's not just inflation. A critical material used to manufacture computer chips is in short supply, and without chips, technology slows down. But the problem doesn't stop there. Something very similar is happening in food production. Another essential raw material is becoming scarce, and it's driving food prices even higher. Stay with me, because today we're going to connect the dots all the way to your wallet. Let's start with technology. Helium isn't just for party balloons. It's a critical resource in semiconductor manufacturing. And semiconductors are everywhere, in your smartphone, smart TV, refrigerator, computer, car, and even in the machines that manufacture almost everything else. So what's happening with helium? Qatar, located near the Strait of Hormuz, produces about 30% of the world's helium supply as a byproduct of natural gas production. However, following recent geopolitical tensions, production and logistics have been constrained since March after attacks on the Ras Laffan and Maysaid industrial facilities. While part of the production capacity is expected to return this year, restoring output to pre-attack levels will likely take years. Here's the paradox. The cost of helium inside a single microchip is tiny. But without helium, semiconductor production slows down. Fewer semiconductors mean fewer chips. And fewer chips mean fewer smartphones, computers, vehicles, manufacturing equipment, and countless other products. In plain English, expect more expensive technology and longer delivery times over the coming months. Now, let's take one step back. Behind helium is natural gas, and Qatar is one of the world's most important suppliers. Its industrial facilities suffer damage that can't be repaired overnight. Qatar Energy expects to recover part of its production capacity this year, but several damaged production lines will take years to rebuild. In other words, even if geopolitical tensions ease, a significant portion of that production won't return anytime soon. And that keeps pressure on every industry that depends on natural gas. Now, let's connect this to food. Natural gas and food are closely linked through one product, urea. Urea is the world's most widely used nitrogen fertilizer. It's essential for growing grains, fruits, and animal feed that help feed billions of people. And it's produced primarily from natural gas. Here's the challenge. The Persian Gulf countries account for roughly 30 to 40% of global urea exports, and almost all of those shipments pass through the Strait of Hormuz, which was recently blocked and is now only partially reopened. Unlike oil, there are no large international strategic reserves of fertilizer, and replacing urea on a global scale is extremely difficult. The result? Lower profitability for farmers, reduced crop yields, and ultimately higher food prices. Finally, let's talk about oil, and one of the biggest market illusions right now. You've probably noticed that oil prices have fallen recently. But be careful. Part of that decline comes from a temporary oversupply created by hundreds of tankers that were delayed in the Strait of Hormuz and are now gradually reaching global markets. That extra supply won't last forever. At the same time, the strait has only partially reopened, and its operation still depends on a fragile diplomatic agreement. Either way, today's lower oil prices are far from guaranteed. Once the market adjusts, you'll likely feel it at the gas pump, in diesel prices, jet fuel, and transportation costs across the economy. So let's put everything together. A single location on the map, the Strait of Hormuz, is influencing the price of your technology, your food, and your fuel. Now, here's the important question. What if you could anticipate these kinds of events with a high degree of probability and act before rising prices affect your business or your finances? Would you be interested? No one has a crystal ball. This isn't about predicting the future. It's about analyzing data, identifying global patterns, understanding cause and effect relationships, and turning information into better decisions. In other words, it's business intelligence. Helping organizations identify these kinds of opportunities and risks is one of Carlos Bastida's core services. Here's a quick overview. You'll find complete details on his website. The link is in the description. Business intelligence. What is it for? To stop making decisions based on guesswork. We transform your business data into a clear strategic roadmap that helps reduce costs, optimize resources, identify risks, uncover opportunities, and incorporate geopolitical analysis so you can make better business decisions. Supply chain design. What is it for? To optimize the flow of your products, reduce costs, eliminate bottlenecks, improve competitiveness, and most importantly, increase profitability. Soft skills training. What is it for? To help your people deliver better results. We build high-performing teams through stronger communication, effective collaboration, and a culture focused on execution, efficiency, and achieving business goals. You'll find the link in the description. One click could be the first step toward building a stronger, more efficient, and more resilient business. Thank you for staying until the end. If you found this analysis valuable, share it with someone who could benefit from it. I'll see you in the next one.